Thank you very much. Mr. Grindstaff.
The new language, and I agree, I want to give everybody time to look at these sections. The intent of the new language was to not leave just a bare exemption without explaining why the exemption was in place. We believe that this language actually does exempt pre-1914 and all of them, but it actually calls out why they're exempt, because they have other processes that are in place that would review that. And I'm sorry that we didn't get this out in time for everybody to validate that. I am fairly confident that once you validate that, you'll say, oh, this is a way to resolve the problem, and it gives the council the ability to say, this is why we resolve the problem this way, because we actually have other processes that achieve what the council desires and needs to have happen. So I think that's important. I want to talk about just briefly the serial things. The concept of serial transfers, what we are proposing, and it's in recommendation number 15, is that we have a water transfer work group to look at how we improve the water transfer process. But we want that group to also look at this issue. We have no facts that we can base any allegations of serial transfers on now, but they've been raised several times by responsible parties, and so our thought was the council ought to recommend a work group look at the issues, not just of how you improve it, but how you make sure, validate whether it's a concern or not. So that's what the change on the serial transfers concept is. We want to make sure that it's explicitly called out because it's been raised, but we don't want to raise it to the point of a policy yet, so it's a recommendation that this work group meet and work on it. So those are the two changes.
Okay. Mr. Fiorini.
If I could respond to Joe's comments, thanks for the clarification of the intent, Joe. If that's the intent of the staff as they transfer the Delta plan to the council, I would encourage that there be language that expressly states in the Delta plan what your intent is. Even as I quickly look at it, and like I say, I'm no expert in the sections referred to and stuff, but I consider myself any other interested public that doesn't have that expertise. I'm not aware of what your intent is, that this is supposed to cover all one-year transfers, except for you need to look at the serial issue. So if that's your intent, I would encourage you to consider putting a sentence in that area under on page 53 that clarifies it is the intent of the council that, and fill the blanks. That would provide clarification for everybody, and we can debate whether we agree or not agree with the council's intent, but at least we know what it is.
Well, and what I'd like is from the council agreement that remains the intent.
Well, let's get questions from the council before you ask for their ultimate agreement. Mr. Fiorini? No? Other questions? Okay.